I gotta say, I love the Game of Thrones reference. I kind of had like a laugh out loud moment because I thought it was just like so perfectly positioned in there. But how much have you resigned yourself to always being so closely associated to this iconic series that you were a part of?
I think the journey with that is coming to terms with the fact that I will be and being proud of that. I think that there was a part of me that fought against it for a long time.
It's great to see you today. And it was so great to see you pop up in season 2 of Modern Love. I really enjoy the series, so I was happy to see it come back for a second season. And then, of course, we've got an episode with you and Miss Lucy Boynton. And the episode is so sweet. It's dreamy. It's funny. But how did you feel about having the chance to show off your tender side, mister?
It's one of the reasons I did it, Rachel. I spent a long time looking very upset about things on TV. And for this, I thought, you know what? This is a nice chance to do something softer and sweeter and all those things you just listed with a great actress in Lucy Boynton. And it happened at a time when, my wife just found out she was pregnant and I got this through, and they just really appealed to my romantic side. And so, yeah, for those reasons, I went off and did a soppy rom-com. But it's intelligent as well. That's the other thing. That's what
it is. And it also makes light of, obviously there's been a lot of devastation in the past year plus, but poking fun of elements of the pandemic, and then also love and trying to find love in this crazy world right now. So you said showing off your romantic side. Just how romantic are you, Mr. Kidd?
Oh, you'd have to ask Rose. Do you know what? It's nice. This gave me an opportunity to sort of step into maybe a past self that might have met a girl on the train at some point and sort of kind of had a chat and flirted and all of that stuff. That's one of the great things you get to do as an actor. You get to pretend you're something that you maybe, not. But I'm a romantic person, I think. Yeah, always have been.
How are you going to contact this woman?
We arranged to meet on the train 2 weeks from now.
She's never going to show.
Do you love to watch a rom-com as well? I mean, I'm picking up some Sleepless in Seattle vibes with this episode a little bit.
Yeah.
But do you love to watch a rom-com with Rose at all? A little date night action with your lady?
I love, one of my favorite films is When Harry Met Sally. I think that's one of the best films, full stop, there is. And that's a rom-com. And so, yeah, I do like a rom-com. It's not it's not a genre that I thought I would necessarily lean towards. I sort of did this. There are other reasons I did this, because it raises some really interesting questions about the pandemic. And also it becomes this little chamber piece that I think, eventually when we look back at this time, this captures something that might say something about the pandemic. That little period before we all went into lockdown, when no one knew what the hell was going on.
Yeah.
Where people made choices that they could never know that we would still be working through this a year and a half, 2 years later. So there was some real kind of I wouldn't want to do something just for fluff. It had some depth to it.
It sure did. And I got to say, I love the Game of Thrones reference. I kind of had a laugh out loud moment because I thought it was just so perfectly positioned in there. But how much have you resigned yourself to always being so closely associated to this iconic series that you were a part of?
I think the journey with that is coming to terms with the fact that I will be and being proud of that. I think that there was a part of me that fought against it for a long time. The process since finishing has been about being proud of the job we did, being proud of that show, being proud of the character that I created, owning it, and knowing that every time it comes up in an interview or in press, that it's a good thing.
What about everyone else? All the other people who think they know what's good.
They don't get to choose.
Yeah, it totally is. I mean, dude, you even have your own slot machines in Vegas now.
Yeah. I know. I saw those.
That TikTok go around. That was pretty funny of your reaction.
When you realized that your deal didn't include merchandising rights.
You actually met Rose on GOT. So what do you remember most about first encountering her on set?
Well, this is this piece, and Modern Love is all about that, right? This piece specifically is about two people meeting for the first time. I remember, oh God, we were saying the other day, it was 10 years ago with that, you know? And I think that there's something about meeting someone in your early 20s where you just know it's right, that's absolutely terrifying. But you go, oh God, what are we going to do now? We've met each other very young. And then you run away from each other for a while because you're like, surely we can't have met each other this young. So I just remember that feeling of, I'm in trouble here.
Yeah.
You know?
But look where the two of you are now with a beautiful boy, and congratulations on that front. How do you feel fatherhood has changed you most, Kit?
Well, doing this piece is probably part of it. It's definitely softened a part of me. It has also taught me to look outwards a bit. You know, I think all actors have a tendency, we have to really, a tendency of being a little bit egocentric, of kind of being a little bit self-obsessed, because our art and our work is a projection and a part of ourselves. Now, having a kid changes that somewhat, because you sort of, at the end of the day, you're like, well, I have this child to get back to, so it doesn't really matter all that much. I just need to look after my boy. And I think that's where I'm at the moment, and I'm loving that kind of freedom that's giving me, and it's made me put less pressure on myself, more pressure on myself as a new father, less pressure on myself as an actor.
All right, well, it's been great chatting with you today, and I look forward to what's next.
Doing a little indie movie at the moment in upstate New York, and then another series after this. So things are busying up, and I'm doing a play early next year. So
fantastic! Yeah. In stateside or over the pond?
London, the Donmar Theatre. I'm going to be Henry V.
Oh, wonderful! Well, congratulations, Kit. All the success to you. Continued success. Take care, buddy.
Thanks, Rachel.